Everyone, welcome. We're the Kennedys, Pete and Maura Kennedy, here for our 84th show. Our 84th show. We haven't missed a week since March 15th, 2020. And so we're back, and we want to ask you right off the bat. Let me see if I can get rid of this thing. Boom. Okay. Right off the bat, we want to ask you if you can see and hear us clearly, because we don't start the show. We try not to start the show until we have confirmation that all is going well on your end. So lay it on us. In the meantime, happy birthday to yarn operator Sweet Baby Autumn. Happy birthday, Autumn. And let's see. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Like I said, we do this every week. And guess what? All 83 previous shows are archived on our YouTube channel. There's a bunch of different playlists, but if you go to the live stream archive, all of them are there, and you can see all the different special themes of the shows. And as you know, we're heading towards our 800th different song played. We've repeated a couple here and there, but not too many. So tech is fine, it says. Excellent. Later in the show today, you want to stay for the whole hour, because we're going to tell you what our special is going to be for next week. And we'll also give you another chance to win some prizes, because we've got another contest this week. So that being said, I think we should kick it right off. What do you say?
Should we do this one for Jill and Don?
Yeah, we're going to do a special song for Jill and Don. And it's good song for this time of year.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. love all the harmonics. It sounds like the night. It sounds like the stars twinkling.
Yeah, it was Ben Keith on the record on
Nice.
the steel guitar. That's such a beautiful Neil Young.
Neil Young, of course, Neil Young. Well, now we're going to repeat a song because we actually played the song quite recently. One of you requested it, and I hadn't heard it. It's a Buffy Sainte-Marie song, and I absolutely fell in love with it. We learned it a few weeks ago when we did our Greenwich Village show, one of the 2 Greenwich Village specials. Pete played banjo on that version. And I thought, I'd love to hear it with the mandolin. So we're going to repeat Buffy Sainte-Marie's Piney Wood Hills.
Yeah, this is a great song.
Yeah, I love this one. Want me to start it?
You start it.
I'm a rambler and a rover and a wanderer it seems. I've traveled all over chasing after my dreams, but a dream should come true and a heart should be filled and life should be in the piney wood hills. I'll return to the woodlands. I'll return to the snow. I'll return to the hills and the valley below. I'll return like a poor man or a king if God wills. But I'm on my way home to the piney wood hills. I was raised on a song there, and I done right and I done wrong there. And it's true I belong there, and it's true it's my home. From ocean to ocean I've rambled and roamed, and soon I'll return to my piney wood home. Maybe someday I'll find someone who will love as I love my piney wood hills. I was raised on a song there. I done right and I done wrong there. And it's true I belong there. And it's true it's my home. I'll return to the woodlands. I'll return to the snow. I'll return to the hills and the valley below. I'll return like a poor man or a king if God wills. But I'm on my way home to the piney wood hills. Yes, I'm coming home to the piney wood hills. Banjo, mandolin. I don't know. I'd like to hear them all together.
I like the mandolin.
Can you
I think
clone
the
yourself?
mandolin, because it's a waltz. Mandolins are great for
Yeah,
a waltz.
they are great for
You got
waltzes.
that boom, chuck, and then you put a little tremolo over it. That's good
You're
stuff.
talking about the mileage on your car. You guys, I got you all beat. Our 2005 Scion XB has 470,000 miles on it.
And still running strong.
It would have been, these are for the folks that are chatting on YouTube, I should mention, because I know we have people watching on Facebook and YouTube, and you can't see each other's chats, but I can see everything coming in.
Are the YouTubers trying to one up each other on mileage?
I don't know, but you got nothing.
Yeah.
You got nothing.
We have them all beat.
407, and we would have hit 500,000 miles, aka 500,000 miles, if this pandemic hadn't shut down our touring. But we'll get there eventually. Yes, we will.
And
all right.
When we get there, that will be 1,000,000 miles of driving, because on our 10th wedding anniversary, we wrote the song 500,000 Miles because we had 500,000 miles driving then. So we're pushing 1,000,000 now. Really.
But we digress.
We'll just talk about mileage.
See, that's what we do here now that we've been stuck at home. We travel musically. That's why we're in Canada today.
That's right. Yeah, we're on a northern journey.
And we're about to travel to the Tower of Song.
Yeah, we haven't done a Leonard Cohen song yet.
No, we did. Didn't we do a Leonard Cohen song last week? But you know what they say, one good Leonard Cohen song deserves. I thought we did a Leonard Cohen. Yes, we did. We learned so many songs. As soon as we learn them, we put them aside to start focusing and practicing the next one. We did Bird on a Wire.
Bird on a Wire.
Was it last week or maybe in the Greenwich Village? I don't know.
We don't know. We don't remember.
There's so many songs up there. It's like pushing all logic and reason.
You get close to 800 songs. You just don't know.
Anyway, this is a good rocker.
Well, my friends are gone and my hair is gray. I'm aching in the places where I used to play, and I'm crazy for love, but it's not coming on. I'm just paying my rent every day in the Tower of Song. Well, I asked Hank Williams, how lonesome does it get? Hank Williams hasn't answered me yet, but I hear him coughing all night long. 100 floors above me in the Tower of Song.
Kind of a rocked up version.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's from that album from the mid-'80s, where he people started becoming aware of Leonard Cohen again. It's kind of he was like the king of comebacks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to all your requests eventually, if not on this show. We had so many requests for so many Canadian writers and artists that obviously we added another show, but eventually we'll get to all of them.
There's a lot of good Canadian songs.
Like this one. A lot of requests for Ian Tyson, Ian and Sylvia. Gary Juster asked for this one, and Lee Bowers asked for this one specifically. We're going to send it out to Lee and send it up to Barbara.
Send it up to Barbara, yeah. Strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't
gotta do it.
Gotta have that
Gotta
one
have
chord.
the
You
one.
can't end on a 5.
I can't do it. Never could.
Just can't do it.
Never could.
No, otherwise you'd be lying awake at night. You'd get up in the middle of the night and go out and get your guitar and go, just to get that chord in there.
We have more and more friends all the time from the Midlands of England.
Yeah. Can't wait to get back over there and play.
Reminds me
in Birmingham again. The Kitchen Garden.
Last week, the Kitchen Garden in Birmingham.
Yeah,
Birmingham, home of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Last week I wore a beautiful tunic that our viewer friend Ilsa silkscreened for us using actual maple leaves. And last year she sent me this beautiful scarf, also with maple leaves. So for Canada, I have 2 garments with maple leaves on them, and so there will only be 2 episodes this time around.
And I've got a beaded Western shirt for the for the First Nations.
I bought that yesterday at a church tag sale. I mentioned tag sales a few weeks ago, and people were like, "What's a tag sale?"
Well, there's different names.
Boot sale, yard sale, garage sale.
Trash and treasure.
Trash and treasure.
It's like a submarine sandwich.
Yeah,
There's a
hero,
hero, a hoagie, a grinder,
po' boy.
Yeah. One of those confusing things.
So, what do they call tag sales in Canada, and what do they call submarine sandwiches in Canada? That should have been our trivia question, but we'll do a different trivia question later in the show. All right, this is a song that this is my request because I heard the song several years ago and really loved it. And when I remember when I put out my first solo album and I had to do a gig, like my first ever gig solo, which freaked me out, to be honest. But I had to, I only had 1 record and I added a few extra songs that I liked. And I learned this song back then. I think I only played it 1 time at the what's that club in the village there? The Bitter End. I played it at the Bitter End.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On Halloween, I believe.
On Halloween, yeah. It was actually almost exactly whatever.
It was
10 years ago.
And it was so long ago that I forgot how the song went, so I relearned it just for you all. This is by a very groovy songwriter in Canada by the name of Matt Mays. And this connects back to our very first song that we did, which was Harvest Moon. And there's a little line about, I want to see it shining in your eyes.
Yeah, the shining eyes.
And this song is called Shining Eyes. 2, 3, 4. Shining eyes, when will they shine on me? When will they see what I want you to see? Shine them eyes at me. Shining eyes, they don't just stun, they paralyze. In the golden hour when the wind dies and day turns into night. Shining eyes, the kind that even shine in the dark. I can't seem to leave my mark on you. You cut me deep. Come on, keep singing. Shining eyes, when will they shine on me? When will they see what I want you to see? Shine them eyes at me. You and me, we don't need no tickets, we can ride for free. In the pearl hour when the birds are beginning, they're early morning singing. Well, I want you, well, won't you want me back? My heart's been under attack ever since I saw them. Oh yeah, now shining I love it
like
for
that
the
song.
whole Buddy Holly thing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, 145.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Angie liked that one.
Bob Dylan
She said,
said
"Thank
that
you for
too.
my great request." We get to request songs every now and then. What did Bob Dylan say?
He said after Like a Rolling Stone was a hit, he said you can't go wrong with the chords of La Bamba.
That's right.
You know, it's an old Latin kind of groove. 1, 2, 2.
Oh, Maura, what's that brand of guitar? This is a Gretsch. I should mention, my J200 is in the shop. There's a little buzz in it. And so I'm using one of Pete's beautiful, look at that nice little tortoiseshell. And it's got some good Canadian cowboy binding on it. Look at that. It's like a cowboy rope. Isn't that pretty?
It's 00 size.
00. It's like a Robert Johnson size, right?
Yeah, it's like an old Gibson 00, but a Gretsch.
We love, you know, we can't look at the chat all the time, but we love getting your comments. We really like answering your questions when we see them in time. All right. The next artist / songwriter was actually born in Brooklyn.
I was amazed to find that out.
Yeah.
That he was from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Nova Scotia. Gotcha.
That's right. He's a Nova Scot.
A Nova Scotian.
Yeah.
Nova Scot.
And this was a hit back, I think, in the mid 50s.
You got your twangy telly with the sparkle finish.
You gotta have some twang.
Gotta have some twang for this one.
And you gotta do the train whistle. Two, three, four.
That big wheeler rolling down the track means your good loving daddy ain't coming back, 'cause I'm moving on. I'm moving on. You fly too high from my little sky, so I'm moving on. Well, I told you, baby, from time to time, but you just don't seem to pay me no mind, so I'm moving on. You done your daddy wrong. I'm flying too high from my little sky, so I'm moving on. Woo! Oh, pick a beat. Mr. Engineer, won't you listen to me? I got a good rockin' mama down in Tennessee, and I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Well, stroke that cold and let the big wheels roll, 'cause I'm moving on. Twang it. Oh yeah. Mr. Engineer, won't you listen to me? I got a good rockin' down in Tennessee, and I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Won't you stroke that cold and let the big wheels roll? I'm moving on.
Yeah. That's
Twang
a
it,
good
Pete.
twanging song.
Good twangage. All right. Oh, now you're talking about guitars. I love it. I love when y'all talk about guitars.
I think a
I'll
lot
leave
of
it
our
to it.
viewers play guitar, or they're interested in guitars.
I know.
Anyway.
I know a lot of viewers are playing along. A lot of people. That's why we try and show you the neck.
Yeah.
All right. Vicki Davis, who is one of the hipper. Well, you're all hip. You're all very hip about music, which is why we love you all so much. We get the best comments and best requests. Vicki Davis requested this, and I actually knew this song, but I didn't know that it was written by a Canadian writer, because the versions I've heard were done by Irish singers. And Emmylou Harris did it with Eleanor McAvoy and Mary Black. Mary Black did it on an album. And we also got a request for Stan Rogers songs. Stan Rogers recorded this one as well, so we're kind of taking care of a whole bunch of requests all at once. This is written by a writer named Roy Hines, who's a Canadian writer. And it's such a gorgeous song. I'm so glad to learn that it fits into one of the themes of our shows here. So we're going to send this out to Vicki Davis for alerting us to the Canadian nature of the origins of this song.
It's kind of a reverse sea shanty.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the wife and the son back
home.
At home. Yeah, it's a beautiful.
This is called Sunny's Dream. Sunny, don't go away. I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. Nights are so long, silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Sunny lives on a farm in a wide open space. You can kick off your shoes and get out of the race. Lay down your head, my sweet riverbed. Sunny always remembers the words Mama said. Sunny, don't go away. I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. The nights are so long, the silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Sunny lives all alone, though he's barely a man. There's not much to do, but he does what he can. And he watches the sea from a room by the stairs. And the waves keep on rolling, they've done that for years. Sunny, don't go away, I am here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. Nights are so long, the silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Sunny's dreams can't be real, they're just stories he's read. Just stars in his eyes and dreams in his head. He's hungry inside for the wild world outside. I know I can't hold him, though I've tried and I've tried. Sunny, don't go away, I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. The nights are so long, the silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Sunny, don't go away, I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never came home. Nights are so long, love singing a song like that. I love the breadth, the width and breadth of the melody, and the emotion of it. It just puts you out there, you know.
Yeah, and it's just the idea for the song, because you think of it like a seafaring song, how great it is to be out on the waves and everything like that. And there are songs about the loneliness of, like the Gray Funnel Line would be one about the loneliness of being at sea. But I don't know of that many songs that are about the family back at home, while the sailor, especially if it was a whaling thing, which would go on for years. You have the mom and the son, and the son kind of has to stay there and take care of her because her husband's gone somewhere in the world. You know, it's such a cool idea for a song.
Oh, Vicky approves. I'm glad you like that.
Thanks, Vicky.
I'm glad you like that, Vicky.
Vicky's
All right.
in a surf band.
I know, Vicky is wicked cool. She sent me pics. I have Vicky Davis guitar picks.
She sent me a tiny Stratocaster.
Yeah, where is that thing? You're going to play slide with it.
Yeah, one of these shows, I'm going to do that.
Well, speaking of slide, we're going to do a song featuring Pete on the lap steel. Correct?
Yes.
You tuned that thing, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's all tuned
Tuned
up.
it up.
This is a song, okay, disclaimer, it's not by a Canadian songwriter. It's by a jazz pianist named Eddie Haywood from Georgia, in the United States, Georgia. But it's an ode to Canada, and you could tell by the beautiful melody of this song that he really loved Canada. So, this is called Canadian Sunset. Oh, Pete, get that up where they can see it, though. You gotta get that.
I'm going to get it down where I can play it.
Get down where I can play it. Okay, I'll keep my neck out of the way. Look, keep that up there. It looks like with your shirt, you've got like two eyes and a mouth.
Yeah, it's like a smiley.
It's a smiley face.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect because the lap steel makes me smile. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
It's called lap because
you put it on your lap.
And steel because you play it with a little piece of steel.
Eddie Haywood wrote that song. Very cool.
And you could have a whole political conversation about the fact that when the record came out by Eddie Haywood playing the piano, it was under the name Hugo Winterhalter.
Hugo Winterhalter.
who was the guy that conducted the backup orchestra.
Oh.
So they didn't give Eddie Haywood credit for his song at the time.
I hate that.
I know. That's for a whole different show.
Was what's his last name? Winterhalter?
Yeah.
Was he a white guy?
Yep.
There you go.
It.
There you go.
You guessed it.
Anyway, this song is one that a lot of folks requested this one. It's a song that we've heard many times. We heard the writer perform it, James Keelahan.
Yeah.
We've heard Richard Shindell sing it. We've heard Cry, Cry, Cry sing it. And we learned it sort of for last week's show. One of the reasons we decided to do a second week of this was that I didn't quite feel like this song was ready last week. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to do it. So you have James Keelahan to thank for this part 2 of the Canadian show. And this is this is actually kind of spooky because this morning as we were getting ready for the show, we turned on CBS and they were showing a film that they had made called Bring Your Own Brigade, I think it's called. A devastating documentary about California wildfires. And specifically the one that affected Paradise and that whole community. They focus in on one community. And they really focus in on the work that the firefighters do. And how heartbreaking it is and how sometimes unappreciated because people always want to blame somebody for their losses.
And the PTSD of the firefighters who survive when there's a crisis where someone doesn't survive, the ones who do survive, they suffer in their own way afterwards. And that's what this song is about.
So
James Keelahan.
For all the folks who requested this, it's called Cold Missouri Waters. 2, 3, 4. My name is Dodge, then you know that. It's written on the chart there at the foot end of the bed. They think I'm blind, and I can't read it. But I've read it every word, and every word it says is death. So confession, is that the reason that you came? Get it off my chest before I check out of the game. Since you mentioned it, well, there's 13 things I'll name. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri waters. August 49, North Montana. Hottest day on record and the forest tinder dry. Lightning strikes in the mountains. I was crew chief at the jump base. I prepared the boys to fly. Hit the drop zone. C-47 comes in low. Feel the tap upon your leg that tells you go. See the circle of the fire down below. 15 of us dropped above the cold Missouri waters. Gauge the fire, well, I've seen bigger. So I ordered them to Side Hill and we'd fight it from below. We'd have our backs to the river and we'd have it licked by morning even when we take it slow. But the fire crown jumped the valley just ahead. There was no way down. Headed for the ridge instead. Too big to fight it. We'd have to fight that slope instead. Flames one step behind above the cold Missouri waters. Sky had turned red. Smoke was boiling. 200 yards to safety. Death was 50 yards behind. I don't know why, I just thought it. I struck a match to waist-high grass, running out of time. I tried to tell them, Step into this fire I've set. We can't make it. This is the only chance we'll get. But they cursed me, ran for the rocks above instead. I lay face down and prayed above the cold misery water. I rose just like a phoenix. In that world reduced to ashes, there were none but two survived. I stayed that night, one day after, carried bodies to the river, wondering how I stayed alive. 13 stations of the cross to mark their fall. I've had my say, I'll confess to nothing more, and I'll join them now, those that left me long before. 13 crosses high above the cold misery waters. 13 crosses high above the cold misery shore. True story, and the details in that song, they tell you so much about what kind of calculations go into these things. And this was back 70 years ago, so they know more now about fighting fires than they did then, but it seems like the fire chief in this scenario discovered a way for him and one other to survive, and unfortunately the others did not.
They didn't believe him.
They didn't believe him.
Yeah. And for James to put all those little details in, the fire crowned. I ordered them to Side Hill.
Yeah.
That's what really makes it such a real, You picture the guy's on his deathbed talking to a priest who's giving him the last rites.
I think so, because he's giving confession, right?
Yeah. It's that's a great song.
It's a great song.
James Keelahan wrote that.
Oh, well, now this next song is another one. Jim Hoffman has sent in some of the best requests, and Pete, you have some good history about this song.
Yeah, this has a really unusual provenance. It was written back in 1961 by a woman named Bonnie Dobson from Toronto. Think of 61. I mean, Dylan's first album came out in 62.
Right.
Being a singer-songwriter wasn't a thing that folk musicians did so much. They mostly did traditional songs at that time. Tom Paxton, I think, was just starting to get rolling too. So Bonnie Dobson was really ahead of the pack.
And this is a political song, which was also very...
Yeah, it's kind of based on a novel called On the Beach. That's people in Melbourne, Australia, and that's the only place on Earth that's not. It's the last place to be irradiated after but it's happening there too, and so she wrote this great apocalyptic song. Anyway, Bonnie Dobson was singing it. She came down from Toronto and was touring around the States and singing this song. And Fred Neil recorded it. And a guy named Tim Rose I think he heard Fred Neil do it. And he recorded it, and he kind of changed the words around. And then he put his own name on it as a co-writer.
It's kind of a side theme to today's show, isn't it?
yeah, right. It's people who need some recognition that they didn't get originally. And Bonnie Dobson had gotten out of music by the end of the 60s, and the song became a song that was covered a lot. Grateful Dead did it on their first album, and a lot of people recorded it. And more recently, Robert Plant did it. And so Robert Plant had recorded it, and everyone gave songwriter credit to Tim Rose as if he had actually written the song originally. And Robert Plant said that there was a knock on his door one day, and he answered the door over in England, and there was a woman there who said, "I'm Bonnie Dobson. I wrote Morning Dew, the song that, that you have out." And Robert Plant really did the right thing. I mean, I saw a video where he tells that story, and he's on stage at a huge, Robert Plant-sized concert. And he says, "So please welcome Bonnie Dobson." And she comes out and sings a song. It's great. And so we do the song with Bonnie's original lyrics, which are chilling enough. You don't need to do any adaptation to the lyric of the song. It's just a brilliant apocalyptic kind of post-apocalyptic song.
Take me for a walk in the morning, dew, my love. Take me for a walk in the morning, dew, my love. You can't go walking in the morning, dew, today. You can't go walking in the morning, dew, today. But listen, I hear a man moaning, "Oh Lord." I know I hear a man moaning, "Oh Lord." You didn't hear a man moan at all. You didn't hear a man moan at all. But I know I heard my baby crying, "Mama." Yes, I know I heard my baby crying, "Mama." You'll never hear your baby cry again. You'll never hear your baby cry again. Oh, where have all the people gone? Won't you tell me, where have all the people gone? Don't you worry about the people anymore. Don't you worry about the people anymore. Take me for a walk in the morning, dew, my love. Please take me for a walk in the morning, dew, my love. You can't go walking in the morning, dew, today. You can't go walking in the morning, dew, today. No, you can't go walking in the morning, dew, today. Perfect, and so simply I think the simplicity of it is what gives it the punch, the real power.
The repetition.
Yeah.
It's like a child sing-song, child song, until you focus on the words in the theme. And that's before, a couple of years before Masters of War and Hard Rain's Gonna Fall.
We're going to go a little over like we do every week, maybe 5 minutes over, but we have to get to our contest. As you know, we've been running this contest the last several weeks because of Pete's new book. His book is called Floodwood. Let me pull it up here. His first work of fiction. And that's Jen Lennox's beautiful artwork. Jen watches every week.
Yeah.
And it's, you want to give a quick description for those who don't know about it yet?
It's kind of the adventure, mystery, travel kind of book that goes all around the world. It starts, actually, a couple of the main characters are Canadian.
That's right.
Iroquois, shaman kind of magic people who appear at different points in the book as the heroine travels around the world with her crossbow. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
So that's the book, and what we've been doing with these trivia contests is that we're going to pick 3 winners from today's trivia contest, and those 3 winners will win the audiobook version of this book that Pete has read, and he also composed some original music that's interwoven within the chapters. So it's a fun little prize there. And so here's the trivia question. You have your pen out? So we get your comments from both YouTube and Facebook, so I can see the first 3 people to answer this correctly will win. And the question is this. Well, we're going to do a Joni Mitchell song next. So the question is, what was her maiden name, first and last name? You can just give us first and last name before she was Joni Mitchell. Go. And as you know, there's like a 20-second delay. So while you're let's see, and if you've won before, Felton Mood and Wayne Rogers, you can refrain from answering, or you can answer just to show off. We won't count you as a winner.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Martin Kelly, write it down.
Oh, we're already there.
We want first and last name, please. Martin Kelly, got it? Over there on YouTube. Roberta Joan Anderson. Oh, Bill, you spelled it wrong. Should we give it to Bill?
Sure.
Okay, Bill. Oh, it's going by so fast. Who was it? Bill Norton. William Norton got that right. Robbie, we needed both first and last name. Okay, and we need one more. Joan Crawford. Jeff. Jeff. Joni, you're half right. Joan Anderson, Roberta Joan Anderson. Felton Mood, I told you. Stop it. Okay, Brian Lowe. Brian Lowe got it. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. There's somebody before. Oh, there's some people before that. Okay. Wait. Robbie White, Roberta Anderson. Okay, Robbie, you typed in very quick there. So Martin Kelly, Bill Norton, and Robbie White, you have all won copies of Pete's audiobook version of Floodwood.
So the Joni came because her middle name was Joan.
Yeah.
And the Mitchell came because she was married for a while to a fellow named Chuck Mitchell.
Yes.
So she
that was an easy question.
Morphed from Roberta Anderson to Joni Mitchell.
I want to know how many of you Wikipedia'd that. But you don't have. That's all right. That's okay. All right, folks. We're gonna do 2 more songs for you, and as I mentioned, we're gonna do a Joni Mitchell song. And since you're playing it in an alternate tuning, I'm just gonna sing it.
I'm in G flat major tuning. G flat open tuning.
Not me. There's a man who's been out sailing in a decade full of dreams, and he takes her to his schooner, and he treats her like a queen, bearing beads from California with their amber stones and green. He has called her from the harbor, he has kissed her with his freedom, he has heard her off to starboard in the breaking and the breathing of the water breeze. she was busy being free. There's a man who climbed a mountain and he's calling out her name, and he hopes her heart can hear 3,000 miles he calls again. He can think her there beside him, he can miss her just the same. He has missed her in the forest while he showed her all the flowers, and the branches sang the chorus as he climbed the scaly towers of a forest tree, while she was somewhere being free. There's a man who sent a letter and he's waiting for reply, and he asks her of her travels since the day they said goodbye. He says, wish you were beside me, we can make it if we try. He has seen her in the office with her name on all his papers. Through the sharing of the profits, he will find it hard to shake her from his memory, while she was so busy being free. There's a lady in the city and she thinks she loves them all. There's the one who's thinking of her, there's the one who sometimes calls, there's the one who writes her letters with his facts and figures scrawled. She has brought them to her senses, they have laughed inside her laughter. Now she rallies her defenses, for she fears that one will ask her for eternity, and she is so busy being free. There's a man who sends her medals and he's bleeding from the war. There's a jouster and a jester and a man who owns a store. There's a drummer and a dreamer, and you know there may be more. She will love them when she sees them, they will lose her if they follow, and she only means to please them, for her heart is full and hollow like a cactus tree, and she is so busy being free, like a cactus tree, being free. Yeah.
That's the last song on her great, great first album, my favorite Joni Mitchell album, Song to a Seagull. Mm-hmm. It's autobiographical. On the first, if you get the vinyl album, on the first side, she's in New York. And she just has to change her life. And so the last song on side one, she's in a cab going to the airport. Then you flip the album over, and she's in California. Then the rest of it is about being in, kind of finding herself in California. It's just a great, even if she'd only done that one album, she'd still be one of the greats.
I just saw a comment on here, which I agree with. Somebody up. Oh, I can't see where it is. Robert Sobsey said, when I concentrate more on her vocals and not playing guitar on certain songs, that the vocals are, I'm not going to say the word because it's kind of, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, but that...
Better, they're good. So, and especially on a song like that where there's just a lot of stuff going on, if I can focus on the lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, it's like we're doing a live album every week, right? When you do a studio album, you play the guitar part, and then you sing the song at a microphone without having to do anything else. And so that's how you get a really good take. But when you're playing live, you got to do everything at once. Well, that's my way here and there on certain songs, especially ones that are a little jazzier. And that one's very acoustic, to let Pete do the heavy lifting of the guitar work, and then I can concentrate on the vocals.
And
Yes.
so, I mean, Joni Mitchell's guitar parts are really, really, my friend Joel, his daughter Sophie is getting her master's in music, and she's focusing on Joni Mitchell's music.
Wow.
Because it's like 21st century now. Classical music in a lot of ways, really, really advanced stuff.
I almost forgot, and I usually do this much earlier in the day in the show. This is our one gig every week, and it has been for 83 weeks now. And we very gratefully accept your optional tips if you're able to do so. And we understand if you're not, and those who are able to do so, you're kind of tipping for everybody too. So we're keeping this music coming into your homes during the remaining days of this pandemic. There's actually a whole tip jar page. If you go to our website, kennedysmusic.com, there's a tip jar there, and there's different ways you can support the show with PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, and US Mail. So enough of that. And next week, a very special show in my mind, because this time last year, we did a special on my birthday, and we called it It's My Party and I'll Sing What I Want To. And we had so much fun. We did a lot of my favorite songs. I didn't take any of your requests. They were all my requests. And we're going to do it again next week because it's my birthday next week.
And also our wedding anniversary is about to happen too.
But they're all my requests.
Oh, yeah.
My
that's
requests
right.
next week.
Yep,
It's my
yep.
party.
It's your party.
I'll sing what I want to.
Sing what you want to.
So
More
and
as requests.
my request. Okay, so we're going to do one more song. And this is perfect because we started this 2-episode mini-series of all Canadian songs with a band song. We ended last week's episode with Ronnie Hawkins and The Hawks song, which is kind of the band. And we're going to end the whole series with a band song.
We were just in Woodstock the other day.
We were. We went to Woodstock.
We were driving, we drove into town on Levon Hill Boulevard. And so we were thinking about, Levon and Robbie and Richard and Rick and Garth. And what better song to come to the conclusion of our 2-part northern journey with than this.
Was feeling about 10:30. Just needed to find some place where I could lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? Just grinned and shook my hand, no is all he said. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Hey, you put the load right on me. I picked up my bag, went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Carmen and the devil walking side by side, I said, hey Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I got to go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Hey, you put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses, ain't nothing you can say. It's just old Luke and Luke is waiting on the judgment day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Emily? Said to me, baby, son, won't you stay keeping me company? Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Hey,
Oh, we went way over time. It's almost quarter after. That's all right.
Thanks to all you great Canadian songwriters.
Yes, and Canadian artists, and thanks to all of our audience who tunes in faithfully every week. We love you, and it's always the high point of our week to share it here with you. So we'll see you back here next week for my birthday.
Maura's birthday.
It's my party, and I'll play what I want to. Until then, y'all, if you haven't gotten your vaccine, please get it. Get your booster when you can. Mask up when you're around people. And stay safe. And we will see you back here, same time, same place, next week. Take care. Bye now.